What's up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding, and in this video you will see me perform and show you guys what I think classic bodybuilding is all about on stage. Yesterday I uploaded a video which you can see right here, where we basically left off right after registration and weigh-in, and we went back to the hotel, and here we are in the evening, the day before the competition, the junior competition. So today is Thursday night, and Friday morning is the competition. So we're putting on the second layer of tan, so that only tomorrow we have to put a little amount of tanning, so that we have to do as little as possible. And right here you can see some of the food that I brought. As you can see, a Twix, we've got some potatoes, rice cakes, gluten-free bread, regular rice, protein pancakes, and yes, well, the things on top of the fridge on the right of the screen that we took out of the fridge, that's not ours, but I did take 2 little shots of alcohol. I take it about an hour before competition, so those 2 right there, the famous Groose, I use one of those for each day of the competition to really get the veins going and increase the blood flow to the muscles. So right now we're finishing off the tan, and soon after this we actually have to sleep already, because the competition is at 10 a.m. in the morning. But the problem is I still need to load up with carbs for the competition. You cannot just wake up at 8 a.m. and expect to be properly loaded because you haven't eaten anything for many hours because you were in bed. So we actually had to get up several times throughout the night to eat some rice cakes and jam.
Oh, dit is mijn broodje.
Ja.
Hoeveel is
20 centiliter.
11,5%.
So right here, I actually, I was intending to drink some wine the evening before the show so that you lose the extra water weight throughout the night, because I'm not going to drink anything else. Alcohol basically makes you excrete extra water, but I thought this was red wine, but it was actually champagne, and it did not taste good.
Dit kan niet in een klop zijn, want dat is gewoon...
Ja, dit is de prik, dit is de...
Alles wat kut vindt aan een drank zit hier gewoon in. Alle.
Kopse.
Hoe kan iemand dit voor zijn plezier zuipen? Dat gaat echt niet. Hoe kan je voor kiezen? Hoe kan je daar echt... Oh. Meenemen,
So yes, sacrifices were made. I usually don't even drink throughout the year. I only drink before a show like this, so to have to drink something like that, that doesn't, I don't know, man. It just sucks. But anyway, this is the following morning, probably at around 7:30 a.m. right after breakfast. Applying the final layer of the tanning to be sure that the color will be dark enough before stage, because all we want to do when we're at the Arnold Classic itself is to just apply some oil to really bring out the shine. And it's a legendary tan, that's the name of the oil actually. And this is the view from our hotel room, and that building over there, guess what? That is the Arnold Classic Expo and the Arnold Classic competition. So all we had to do is walk right outside, cross the street, and boom, we're there. And we just entered the building. It's just literally the first time we got in there. We were in there for the weigh-in and registration, but we didn't check out the expo at all. That was not really our focus. So right here we're kind of searching where the stage is, because the expo is pretty big. Not as big as the FIBO in Germany though, but still, it's pretty large compared to other expos here in the Netherlands. So we were gonna search for the competition area, the backstage area, because the masters and the juniors were the first class of the day to perform. So we finally arrived at the backstage area. It's pretty small. It's actually quite bigger here at local shows in the Netherlands, but I guess they wanted to have more expo space and limit the backstage area, because it got really busy, and you can see that in this video soon. And this is the Arnold Classic stage. We were there at around 9 AM. Almost no one there yet. Those were the seats. Right there is the backstage area where those people are going in.
Chocolate raisins. Only time you can cheat.
So now it is important not to eat big meals anymore. I chose for chocolate raisins because they're very easy to digest. They're small, high calories, they contain carbohydrates, a little chocolate because a little fat is important as well to fill up your muscles. All the linings of every cell of your muscles contain fat, and you want them to grow and fill up as well. And it actually contains a little bit of salt in the chocolate, so it's a best combination of all.
That's some good shit. 1 hour to go.
So here we apply just a little bit of extra tanning, just a final touch, to be sure that the color is dark enough, because I did wear some clothing and it did rub off a little bit, so extra final touches never hurt. And now we're getting really close to the actual competition, so now we're putting on the oil, and because you're basically standing there without clothes, it can get pretty, well, not cold, but you know, you want to stay warm. And the oil that we're putting on, it actually is a protective barrier for your skin to keep it warm, so that is another advantage of putting on the oil pretty early. So as I mentioned before, this oil is pretty expensive, but it's called the legendary tan because it brings out your natural color, or whatever color is on your skin, and enhances it to show a more natural tan. And it doesn't really oil that strongly, you know, it's not like baby oil, it's basically really finely dispersed over your skin, which creates a more natural effect. Because this is actually used on the beach or whatever for people in the daily life, so it shouldn't look fake. But of course we're putting on quite a lot for this show because you want to have the right balance of oil on your skin. If you have too little, you will look soft. If you have too much, you will look not as detailed. So we have to get the right amount to still show the cuts and the 3D effect.
En benen blijven aankomen.
And right here I am waiting in line to get my number to put on the posing trunks so that the jury can actually tell you, and all the backstage staff, they basically call you by your number, save your name. It's much easier for them and for the judges as well, because all they can see is the number. So when you got to switch with a competitor or you got to do something else, they can just call out the number and you know what to do. So now it is crunch time. It's time to warm up. As you can see, everybody behind me, everywhere is warming up. So now it is time to get that pump going for the stage. What you don't want to do is overwork yourself. You don't want to get tired. But what works for me is right here, the push-ups. And I bought these extra handles so that you can go even deeper. Because the bigger the range of motion, the larger the contraction, the more blood will be rushed in the correct muscles, and you don't have to do as much trouble to actually get a good pump. And the chest pump, to me, that is vital to my own physique. And you don't just have to use equipment to warm up, you can also use your coach or anything, or anyone I mean you have with you, to actually use as resistance for your muscles. So it's very easy to warm up. There's a lot of different ways to do so. Just, you feel which part of your body needs a little more warming up, and you just move it around a little bit, contract the muscles, and there you go. And we're almost a few minutes away to get started. As you can see, the audience is growing, the photographers are aligning, the judges are taking their seats right there, and things are going on their way. And there we go. So it's actually, as you will see, 28 competitors on a stage. And right here, it's, it's not even a straight line anymore. You basically stand in a half a circle. But this is where it's truly crunch time, to compare yourself to all the other physiques on stage. So you gotta present yourself well, be sure to contract your muscles at all times, and just be confident.
Spread out, there's enough space for everyone, spread out. Double bicep. One leg on the side. Gentlemen, we have to follow mandatory poses. One leg on the side. .485 is the wrong pose. Side chest. Back double bicep. Coming out thighs.
So that was elimination round number 1 for me. Everybody, every 5 athletes gets 1 call out, and they pick the best out of that. Took a picture with Barry the May right here in between rounds. And this is elimination round number 2. And every round you basically get selected whether you're good enough for the next round. And from 28 competitors we go to 15 competitors. So right from the start, 13 guys got eliminated, which is pretty harsh. But there's no other way to do it really. As you can see right here, we oiled up the legs a little bit more to create a 3D effect. They were a little under oiled in the first round, and I also got advice to present myself a little better, smile continuously. Now, it was the first time I got on stage again in a few years, and being that busy international stage, I wasn't really paying attention to my presence, but now I will, as you will see.
Double bicep. Side chest. Back double bicep. Double attack. Thank you, gentlemen. Step back in line.
So that was elimination round number 2, and now we're heading to number 3, and the competitors dropped again to 10. So 5 more guys were eliminated, and it's a pretty good feeling to go through these rounds and keep getting included in the list. But at the same time, it's pretty tiring, guys. You want to make it look easy on stage, but especially the back, the legs, and the shoulders are really starting to fatigue. You can't really see it. It's hard to imagine unless you've been on stage yourself, but you gotta contract it and squeeze it all the time. You gotta show your best physique on stage that you can. So, you cannot show that you're tired, but trust me, you are.
Era impresionante, tío, era impresionante. Con 21 años, chaval. La producción. ¡Pablo, arriba! ¡Quieto! Precioso, tío.
Es que en la pose.
Sí, tío,
Double bicep. Side chest. Back double bicep. Abdominal thighs.
Máximo 23. O sea, tienes para abajo. Que tenga el chulo. ¿Quieres que te diga? Te levanta, tío.
Thank you, gentlemen.
So there are actually multiple callouts in this round, so they want to compare multiple athletes next to each other multiple times, and this is the second callout of this round. So this is the second time of this round that I'm posing, and this basically is the top 5, top 6, top 5. Right here's the top 5 actually. Number 6 wasn't included in here, but yeah, this is basically the guys who are at the top of the juniors. Which you will see in the next round after this, and actually that will be higher quality footage. But yes, this is, guys, you can decide who you think is the best athlete here. Everybody has their own strengths, own weaknesses. I know what mine are. And looking at the footage, I'm just very happy with the shape that I brought, the presence that I brought, and the particular poses that I was able to do, and how it resembled classic bodybuilding. So I'm very happy with my performance, regardless of the placing, because that's the judge's call. But when I'm happy, there's nothing else I could have done differently to look even better on that stage. So yes, I'm pretty happy with how things went.
Relax, 496, 546, 547.
That's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, they have stomachs. I didn't like that. Stomachs.
They must judge that.
What's that?
Stomachs. They must look at that.
Hopefully, we are at Arnold. We are not the
Arnold classic, so
yeah,
they must
right.
make a statement about the stomachs.
Wait. No.
So this is the weight for the finals. Every time in between the elimination rounds, you basically get shipped off to this little area right here to wait for the finals and the judgment of the jury, whether you're in the next round. So this is the final weight, because after this is the final round to compete for the trophy, for the win. And every time you weigh here, you basically, you check your tanning, you check your oil, you pump up a little bit more, you eat some more chocolate raisins to keep the pump going. That's basically what we do.
VISSERS. Vintage Genetics. Look it up.
Is this your first time in Arnold? First time.
First international competition.
What category?
Juniors. 23.
Long way to go.
No, not yet, but
So I'm very interested in what you guys think of who is the better man here, who wins here. It's always, up to the jury, up to personal taste. And this is the pose down in which I decided to do some classic posing, because I knew that the rest would just be doing regular poses. So I wanted to kind of show who I am and show that classic bodybuilding is what it is all about, especially at the Arnold Classic year.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's time now to perform one by one. Thank you, gentlemen.
And right now it is time for the posing routine, which only the top 6 was allowed to do. And right here we're about to start the prize ceremony. So this is the top 6 who just all did their posing routines for the final scorings. And I actually checked the scores, and about half of the judges gave me first place, half of the judges gave me second place for the posing routine alone.
The first of the 2 Czech Republic competitors, Pavel Cervinka took the 6th place award, presented by Mr. José Donato. 5th place award, Netherlands, Wesley Pissers, 489. Mr. Berry de May presenting the award to his competitor. 4th place award, Spain, Pablo.
So yeah, as you can see, I got 5th place out of the 6 guys. No, I was expecting a top 3 finish, but I was happy to go through all those rounds to really, beat quite a lot of guys. I did leave 23 of the best juniors of the world behind me, because to be able to stand on this stage, you either have to qualify and win a competition of your own country, or get a wild card because you're good enough to actually participate in this competition. But I want to know your opinion about, how I looked, how you think I did, what you think of the placing, and everything around it. I just want to know your opinion, guys, and what you think of the video. Really curious, because, thanks to your support throughout the Instagram messages, the Facebook messages, all the images, that did motivate me when I was in the hotel room, because most of the time you're just waiting, you can't really do much. So I check out the social media accounts and I see all your comments. Even after knowing that I was 5th place, all you guys still support me a lot. Top 5 at the Arnold Classic, it's a good placing, guys. I'm used to be first, but that's local competition, so it's a number that is hard to accept at first, but after just a little while I already accepted it and was just very happy, because seeing my shape, seeing all the footage, all the pictures, I can't be anything else but content about what I achieved on this stage. So this was the day of the juniors, and there's still Saturday and Sunday to cover. This is probably going to be the longest video of them all, but there will be a lot more footage to come, guys, trust me. I've still got a lot of things to tell you guys, critiquing my own physique, my posing routine, etc. So it's going to be a lot of fun doing all those videos. Nutrition, posing, training, the rebound from this competition, and everything else. Thank you for watching, guys, and don't forget to stay golden.
Haha.
Dit is mijn bruising.
Ja,
Hoeveel
20 centiliter.
11,5%.
So right here, I actually, I was intending to drink some wine the evening before the show so that you lose the extra water weight throughout the night, because I'm not going to drink anything else. Alcohol basically makes you excrete extra water, but I thought this was red wine, but it was actually champagne, and it did not taste good.
Dit kan er niet in een klop zijn, want dat is gewoon...
Ja, dit is te prik, dit is te...
Alles wat ik kut vind aan een drank zit hier gewoon in. Alles.
Is Thursday night, and Friday morning is the competition. So we're putting on the second layer of tan so that only tomorrow we have to put a little amount of tanning so that we have to do as little as possible. And right here you can see some of the food that I brought. As you can see, a Twix, we've got some potatoes, rice cakes, gluten-free bread, regular rice, protein pancakes, and yes, well, the things on top of the fridge on the right of the screen that we took out of the fridge, that's not ours, but I did take 2 little shots of alcohol. I take it about an hour before competition, so those 2 right there, the famous Groose, I use one of those for each day of the competition to really get the veins going and increase the blood flow to the muscles. So right now we're finishing off the tan, and soon after this we actually have to sleep already because the competition is at 10 a.m. in the morning. But the problem is I still need to load up with carbs for the competition. You cannot just wake up at 8 a.m. and expect to be properly loaded because you haven't eaten anything for many hours because you were in bed. So we actually had to get up several times throughout the night to eat some rice cakes and jam. What's up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding, and in this video you will see me perform and show you guys what I think classic bodybuilding is all about on stage. Yesterday I uploaded a video, which you can see right here, where we basically left off right after registration and weigh-in, and we went back to the hotel, and here we are in the evening, the day before the competition, the junior competition. So today